Welcome to my newest video. Today we will be doing a red snapper that's going to be sitting in a savory corn pudding topped off with an oyster mushroom vinaigrette. Let's see if we can get this done today. So we're going to start off with the vinaigrette first. What I'm going to do is we have some sherry vinegar. That's going to be 2 tablespoons of sherry vinegar. I have 5 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. We're going to go with a ½ teaspoon of honey. I have 2 sprigs of thyme, 1 clove of garlic, and 1 entire shallot. I also have 2 cups of oyster mushrooms, and this is what oyster mushrooms look like when you buy them at the store. We're just going to take the tops off the stems, so we're going to do 2 cups of the tops to start our vinaigrette. So let's get this started. Okay, so I've heated the pan on medium, and I'm going to put in the 5 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Next, we're going to put in the mushrooms. And we're going to let them cook for about 2 minutes. And you'll see, this looks like a lot, but it's going to reduce down. Mushrooms will get small. So we're going to cook these for about 2 minutes, and then we'll come back. Okay, so the mushrooms have been cooking for about 2 minutes, and as you can see, like whenever you cook mushrooms, they've reduced. They got a little bit of brown to them. Perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to give it a little pinch of salt. We're going to give it just a touch of pepper. And we're going to add the shallots, the garlic, and the thyme. And we're going to put it in there for about a minute, just so all the flavors start melding. So we'll be back in about a minute. Just keep moving it around, making sure that everything's mixed nicely. Smells really good here. I got to tell you, I'm really looking at this being a very tasteful dish today. So it's been about a minute, and if you take a look at the dish, everything's starting to brown nicely. What next step is, I'm going to lower the heat to low. I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of sherry vinegar, and we're going to put in a 1/4 tablespoon of honey. We're going to mix that all together. Got a nice smell to it. Looks like the flavors are coming together nice. I'm going to leave this on here for about 30 seconds. Just keep moving it around, letting all the flavors absorb each other. Okay, that looks about what we're looking to get. As you can see, it's a nice dark color. The sherry's going to give it a little bit of acidity. The shallots and the onions are going to give it a nice flavor to these mushrooms, and we're going to put it over the fish. I think it's going to taste really nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the heat, and we're going to put this aside, and we'll come back to this later. We'll just let it sit there and soak up all the flavors. And what we're going to start working on now is our sweet savory corn pudding. Okay, so now we're going to start with the corn pudding, which is going to go at the bottom of our dish. What I have here is 3 cups of corn kernels that I've steamed, so they are steamed and ready to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 cup of vegetable stock or vegetable broth. We'll add that in there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to blend it so we get a nice fine consistency here. And what we want to do is we want to get a nice silky corn pudding. We don't want chunks in it. So we're going to process this nice and fine. And once that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to run it through here. 1 second. Make sure we get it all out. Get it right through the strainer, so it's a nice fine. Okay, and we're going to let this sit here for a few minutes and just let it work its way through the strainer. I'm going to push it through, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we have the corn here, and I have a pot boiling with hot water. I don't have a double boiler, so I'm going to make a homemade double boiler. And I'm just going to put another pan over the top of the boiling water. And this is going to be over a medium-high heat, and then I'm going to put the corn in here. Okay, I'm going to spread it out like that. And basically the steam is going to come up and heat the pan. That's how this is going to work. Okay, I'm going to add a pinch of salt. And I'm going to crack a little pepper. And we're going to let it sit here for about 4 to 5 minutes. And let it heat up and get that nice corn consistency. You see that? It's nice. And now it's just going to get a little bit thicker. And then we're going to add a little bit of butter. Okay, so while the corn pudding is cooking, I have the pan that's been heating over a medium-high heat. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of oil. It's a non-stick pan. About a tablespoon or two. I'm just going to spread the oil out. This is so the fish crisps right up. Okay. I have my fillet of red snapper, which I've cut up into pieces. I've done salt and pepper on both sides. So now I'm going to drop it. And that's what we want to hear. A little bit of searing. That skin will crisp up nicely. So we're going to go about 3 minutes on each side. And that'll be perfect. Okay, now the corn looks been on here about 4 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop 1 tablespoon of butter, and I'm going to drop a little bit of creme fraiche, which is similar to sour cream, but it's just not sour. It's got a little bit more of a cream type taste to it. And we're just going to mix this in here to make our little cream sauce a little creamier, a little velvetier, a little smoother, and give it a little flavor. So we're going to leave that in here for about another 2 minutes. As you can see, it's already starting to get, from the butter and the cream, it gets a little more, I guess a little creamier would be the right way to phrase it. Okay, so we'll be right back when it's time to flip the fish. So the fish has been cooking about 3 minutes. We're going to flip it. I got that nice crispness on that side, on the skin side. Okay, 3 more minutes on this side and we'll be ready to plate. Okay, so while the fish was cooking, I put the mushroom vinaigrette that we did earlier. So now, it's been 3 minutes, I'm going to take the fish off, just get it off the heat. It smells really good in here. And now I think it's time to plate. Okay, this is my favorite part where everything comes together. If you see, we have the corn pudding on the bottom, we have the mushrooms laying on top. I took some gourmet tomatoes and laid them out as well and topped off with a little piece of dill. So let's see how this tastes. Let's give this a shot. Well, it's really good. I think you're really going to enjoy this.